I would love to be the fairy changing the way you will travel. Ever since I am a member of HomeExchange, my life has absolutely transformed. I find it very easy to fall in love with places and then start wondering whether I should maybe move there. That's quite tiring, and when I decided to just be happy with my own home base, I did wonder, how could I travel more without paying so much? That's how I started thinking about exchanging my home, and I was so excited to find out it existed. Not only that, it looked really well organized. You pay one fee a year and unlimited possibilities. Let's first tackle the elephant in the room: trusting a stranger in your home. Ever since I've been a very enthusiastic member, I find that people have many reasons not to do it. And so I thought I would cover a few of those and share from my own experience how I've been dealing with that and how it's been turning out. So the thing is, of course, it's trust. You're accepting complete strangers in your home, which is one of the most intimate spaces or places or things in our lives, right? They're going to sleep in our beds. They're going to brush their teeth in our bathroom. One of the things that I've come across is that people say, yeah, but my house is just not completely like a hotel. Well, one, it doesn't have to be like a hotel, but of course it needs to be up to a certain standard. Like there can't be electricity plugs hanging out from the wall or something like that. But then my question is, why are you putting up with electricity plugs hanging loosely out of the wall? Just to use that example. So I've been using being a member on HomeExchange as a way to make my home environment as comfortable and nice as it can be for myself as for others. It's a way to also treat yourself as a guest in your own home. The second thing then, I can kind of see people's gaze changing from enthusiasm about the idea of the possibilities of traveling the world without paying for your stay. And then you can see, I don't want people to crawl to go around my personal stuff, to like nosing around in my drawers or my cupboard. So that is the topic of trust. And I have found that to be life-changing to just do that. The first time I opened my home for an exchange, you know, when you're like scared, but you do feel excitement at the same time, that is the good type of scared. That means you're advancing in life. I was cleaning and I was preparing everything, and I just couldn't grasp it that there was going to be this woman that I didn't know who was going to be in my place. And I just hugged her. She even put it in the review that there was a very heartfelt welcome. So I was all the first times like slightly worried. I've got like a light colored carpet. Are they just gonna spill red wine on it? You know, there's all these little hang-ups that we have about our place. The good news is I couldn't be more happy with how everything has turned out so far. I've had many exchanges since I'm a member of it a few years. I've had only positive experiences, and I am not paid by HomeExchange to say it is. Exchanges are either simultaneous or for a virtual currency, so not a real currency, called GuestPoints. The GuestPoints, what is it? Very interesting, because unlike Airbnb or Booking.com or the whole hotel hospitality industry, the rules of capitalism do not apply to the guest point system in HomeExchange. It is based on the surface of your place. So imagine all the small apartments in top locations in the big cities will not be able to get tons of points because usually the surface is very limited. It is based on amenities. If you have a swimming pool, it will be more points. If you have a garden, there will be more points, and so on. Most importantly is the number of people that you can host. How many bedrooms are there? What is the size of the beds? There is a way that the capitalist tendency can have its workings in HomeExchange, which is to add more sleeping spots than there actually are, and then you can up the level of points. But it doesn't seem to be something that just continues to happen, and then it blows up, and then you have this bubble of guest points. Last but not least, what is so special about traveling with HomeExchange? It makes for so much more humane and non-touristy tourist experiences. You end up in places where people live. The energy of it is so different. When I arrive, I am just filled with gratitude and intrigue to be in other people's environment. They've put their energy in making the place so that they love it. So much more enriching than a sterile holiday rent. If you're a writer, if you're into walking, if you're a foodie, if you're a wine connoisseur, you can actually search for people who are that as well all over the world. In a country you're going to, you can look for people who want to come to your place and take it from there. And you are open, well, at least I've been open to destinations that I didn't really consider before. And that nowadays I find very enriching, because tourism has of course been exploding anyway, but the post-COVID times have really seen an increase. And I'm sure you also have picked up on the hostility that's been rising in places like Barcelona, in Mexico City, and so on. Too much is just too much. And that, as a tourist myself, or someone who travels, the word tourist has this weird flavor now. I really like to travel like a local. You get so many insights, tips, and recommendations to do on the spot. You have a connection in the place you're going to, and that can even result in friends. It sounds so cheesy and hippie. Well, it started as a hippie thing. It is like one big family. HomeExchange, I mean, welcome to the tribe if you feel the call. I think that was all for the moment. Let me know if you have questions. I'm very happy to help, and happy traveling, everyone. Of course, there's always so much more to share, and let me know if you're interested in more of my adventures or on related topics, or just to dive further. I'm very happy to hear your feedback. And also, if you have a home, are you keen on exchanging it to travel the world for free accommodation and all the other perks I mentioned? Or do you see obstacles? I would love to hear those.